transition from fear to faith is possible with the help of subconscious. Crucial to this goal is to develop a positive thought process. A positive thought process refers to having a healthy, optimistic thinking pattern. Let's take an example. If you were to participate in a debate competition and have a positive thought process, you will not think that is you are going to lose. Instead, you would choose to feel confident that you would be declared as a winner. And even if you don't win, you would still feel that is you have gained a lot from participating in the event. So a positive thought process enhances your thinking pattern. It helps you focus on the positive and productive and shut out the negative and unrewarding. Once you develop this ability, you will acquire complete freedom from your negative thoughts. You will never be bothered by such ideas again. Though it may take time, it may take good much practice, but all the efforts, they are worth it. Now let's look at the things you need to do to gain a better thought process and change it from unconstructive one to an optimistic one. So the step number one is, that is, you have to identify the negative thought patterns. And this is the first and foremost thing. That is, you need to identify what sort of negative thought patterns they run in your mind. These negative thought patterns commonly occur and experienced by many, and they are categorized into, let's say, few categories. The first is, that is, catastrophizing. Now what does mean catastrophizing? When you think that a bad situation is going to end up far worse than it actually is, you are catastrophizing. In a way, you are blowing things out of proportion. For instance, if you become feverish, you immediately think that is you are going to die. Then there is mind reading. You think you know exactly what the other people are thinking. For instance, if you always assume that your boss hates you, then you will end up believing that you will never get that promotion. Then the other thinking, negative thinking category is, that is, overgeneralizing. This refers to making a decision based on just one incident or very few incidents. For instance, if you forgot to include an important report in a presentation, you would say, I always forget to do this, even if it only occurred once. Or you may think he is the best or the worst. Because of black and white thinking, you won't probably consider that he has his flaws, but he is a decent man. And then the next category is critical self-talk. It refers to having a negative image of yourself. You constantly tell yourself, that is, you cannot do something, or highlight your flaws and mistakes. For instance, always thinking that I am a loser or I am a failure. So this is also one of the negative thinking patterns. Then there is predicting your future. You believe that you know exactly how the things are going to turn out to be. For instance, you think that you will definitely fail a test even before you have actually taken it. So primarily, the categories of negative thinking pattern, they are, number one is catastrophizing, then is mind reading, then is overgeneralizing, then is black and white thinking, and crucial self-talk, and predicting your future. These are generally, that is, broadly speaking, these are main categories of negative thinking pattern. Now the question comes is, which of these do you normally experience? It is important to find which negative thinking pattern is affecting your mindset. For this, you can keep a log or a journal or a diary that will help you become more aware of determining this. Whenever a negative thought pops up in your mind, write it down in the diary or journal with the time, date, and incident related to that thought. This is important. Figure out which category it belongs to in order to keep track of your current thought process. It may belong to just one category, or there could be few categories mixed up, but you will get the insights. Now after step one, that is step one which we have taken is identifying the negative thought patterns, we go to the next step. The next step is replacing negative words with the positive ones. So in this step, what we do is, which is towards developing a positive thought process, it is to slowly eliminate negative words from your routine speech. Gradually get rid of negative thinking by adding more simple and positive words to your speech. Now you have to see, that is, what kind of words do you usually tell yourself? Are they helpful? or do they make you feel burdened? Observe how your daily thoughts affect you. When you say things like, I always make so many mistakes, or I cannot get anything done, you assure yourself that you are never going to improve. By saying negative things such as, I am sure I am going to fail, or I am never going to pass the test, you let yourself believe that you are incapable of doing something. Words and thoughts like this, they can easily plague your mind and infiltrate your thought process. Therefore, these words need to be eliminated from your mind and from your speech. Jot down all the words you commonly use in your diary and find positive replacement for them. For example, replace cannot with can, will not with will. Instead of thinking I cannot do it, tell yourself I can try or I can do it. By adding positive words and phrases to your speech, you will feel that your thoughts are slowly becoming more positive as well. Now, after the first step you have taken, that is, so first you have done is you have identified the negative thought pattern of yours, and then you have taken the second step. Second step is replacing negative words with the positive ones. Now we go to the next step. So 2 steps we are done. Now we go to the third step. Third step is practice positive self-talk. Positive self-talk or positive affirmation refers to saying affirmative things to yourself. It is the best tactic to get rid of catastrophic, overgeneralizing mind reading, future predicting, and critical self-talk. In positive self-talk, you constantly tell yourself good and productive things to make your subconscious believe that you have what it takes to achieve something. Whenever a negative thought pops up in your mind, you quickly replace it with a positive affirmation. Always be ready to transform any negative idea into a positive thought. Make yourself familiar with affirmative phrases and always keep them in mind. For instance, I'm sure I'm going to fail should be replaced with I'm going to pass. And one more example could be, let's say, when you say that is, I am always going to make a mistake, it can be converted to I'm going to do it right. When you find yourself thinking, I'm not good enough for this job, you can tell yourself, I may not be best at this job, but I will learn and improve. On the other hand, be careful with using the words and phrases such as always, I'm sure, I already know, must, and should to your affirmation, because these words, they burden you. Which words? I'm sure, always, I already know, must, should. These words, they burden you. These words make you feel that you need to do something a certain way. And if you don't do it that way, you feel that is, you start doubting yourself. For instance, by saying, I'm sure I'm going to pass, then you are burdened with the responsibility of passing the examination. And in case that doesn't happen, you will start losing yourself to negative thinking once again, and this is going to be even harder. Instead of encouraging you, it will cause you to become too hard on yourself. This is exactly why these words must be avoided at all the times. Make a habit of positively affirming yourself in every situation so that your mind starts accepting these suggestions. It will become easier for you to dismiss any thought that is not helping you. Keep on feeding your mind with positivity, and the negative thoughts will eventually diminish. In about 3 to 4 weeks, you will experience a marked improvement in your thinking pattern, and you will see it slowly changing to a positive one. Make sure to practice all these steps to improve your thought process.